What was it?
Tuesday was the day I got the concussion.
Oh.
So I don't want to talk about Tuesday.
That's right. I apologize for bringing that up. Okay, we're getting started.
Oh my goodness.
Alright guys, this is the first match of Warriors versus Engineers. We're just about getting ready to start. I'm going to take a look starting off with the Warriors' point of view here. I'm going to take a look starting at Titan, who seems to be the crowd favorite here today. Taking a look and see if they do any pregame buffs. Getting a bit of lag. Are you getting this as well?
I'm getting a lot of lag here as well. That's awesome.
What the hell's going on? I think it subsided. That was interesting. Anyway, opening up the map to see the splits, we're looking at... Oh, this is actually going to be really hard to keep track of.
I think we have an AFK or even. Oh my goodness.
No, we just have one sitting back. No, wait. One of the...
Arabelle Jones sitting in base.
Oh my god.
Leading the Warrior team into a false sense of security.
Anyway,
gonna come in mid-game and just wreck everyone.
We're looking, he's hanging back. He's waiting for his opportunity to strike.
This is a great strategic play by the Engineers, leaving one in base. Never seen anything like this before in my life.
We're looking at Titan at the moment. He's currently in the middle. We are seeing here that he played his control build. They're actually doing a pretty nice job at keeping two of these Engineers off the point. So, but Dini Kong's getting pretty low here. We're gonna take a look over at his point of view as he goes down. Nice CCs there. It looks like he had a bunch of immobilizes on him by the Engineers. Nice. Pop the Coco is going to pop his elixir and get him that. Oh, and unfortunately that Warbounder came down a bit too late, so he is unfortunately gonna miss that. And Arabelle Jones is now back into the fight, so we're gonna see them move over to middle. Actually, they might take on the boss. No. Titan has fallen. Actually, very interesting. We're seeing Titan fallen already, as unfortunately he was immortal the other day, but he has fallen to the Engineer menace.
It's kind of funny to know Arabelle just came into the game,
he rallied.
And they won the fight. They're winning the fight mid with only 4 people in there right now.
Oh lord.
It just goes to show how weak Warriors are against Condis.
Nah. We got this.
Nah.
We got this. Looking at Pokito, as we said before, he's running a very squishy build, and we're seeing that right here. He's all the other Engineers are like at pretty much full health. Meanwhile, Pokito's just been killed. That may have been a nice job there by the Warriors just focusing him, but I think it was due to the squishiness of his build. He has gone down. Miser Lord at the moment also getting low. The Rifle Warrior here for the Warrior team is currently trying to focus down members of the blue team, and they did manage to get Arabelle Jones down, so Miser is going to hang back a little bit more over here. We're going to take a look at Arabelle. Actually, she's down. It doesn't actually look like Warriors going to go for a stomp. No members of the blue team are really in a position to res at the same time, so I don't know if Red just didn't notice them taking it, or if they're waiting. There we go. I don't think he can stomp him. We're seeing
Jones,
this now.
The Warrior can't do anything.
Yep, he
it's actually the rally. That's amazing.
That was well played, I guess, by Arabelle Jones.
You couldn't reach him, man. It's too short.
Tiny Kuroshis, who we're currently looking at here, a very supportive Engineer here for their team. He's actually doing a pretty nice job keeping that healing turret down, but at the same time, Titan here, the blast from Thursday, is doing an amazing job of holding himself up here. Betty White is down. He's trying to res. They unfortunately aren't able to get a res banner down, but no, Betty White does. They do manage to get one down actually, and they get her up. But Titan has also gone down. Will Titan fall this early into the tournament? We're gonna see in just a second here. Betty White trying to keep him alive, killing that Rock Dog. Gamma getting low as well. Gamma's actually gonna bail out of here. Now we're not seeing any backcapping going on in this game. Have you noticed that yet? It's all been on the mid fight.
Yeah, we're not seeing a lot in this game. To be honest, I think the Engineers kind of need to get their stuff together. They need to go for stomps.
Yeah.
They just let Titan free res. He was down for so long, and no one is even putting pressure on him or even going for the stomp.
Betty White again was just res. Blue team is not really pursuing these stomps at all. They're just sort of waiting for their chance to strike. They won the initial team fight. It's just Warriors' overall tankiness managed to subside them in the end because they were able to stay alive even with Engineer. So
well, I think if they're just to focus on some cleave damage on the bodies when they go down, I think they'd probably be able to win these team fights pretty easily. But once they go down, it feels like everyone's just kind of expecting someone else to do the stomping or do the body damage, and they're just switching targets, and so they're just getting rezzed up pretty freely.
I mean, they did just manage to kill Miser. You could expect with all these HGH builds that they would be able to actually do a pretty decent job at stomping them, or just taking them down with just that sheer amount of AoE. But it's just really not. We're just really not seeing that at all.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's pretty much a focus issue at this point.
We are actually, however, we're going to see one of the members of the blue team cross over to the mine. We're seeing him move over, so we are finally going to see a back cap. Warriors are currently up by a little less than 100 points to the Engineers, 136 points. So we're going to see how this goes. Titan putting actually not a lot of bleeds, but he's nonetheless throwing bleeds on Pokito here. Warrior team actually getting pretty low here at the mid fight. They might actually have some issues holding this, as the Engineer team is a bit overwhelming them. Mine has been decapped, as we're seeing here now. And we're going to see Betty White move in. We're going to take a look at his point of view, if I can find him. There he is. Uh-oh, he gets knocked back. As we saw here, he did try to pop off his combo, but it seems the Engineer over here did an excellent job at negating that. So she's going to be on the defensive for the time being, popping his heal rather, and another warrior will reinforce. So there we go. There's that combo. Not as effective as I would have hoped. He didn't pop his frenzy, so.
Yeah, you got him off the point. That's the main thing here.
No, he's still staying there. He's still fighting this. He wants this point. But the Warriors are going to be pretty easily going to be able to control this, and Murugali will more than likely go down. So we're going to go back to the mid-fight, where Rangers have actually overwhelmed pretty nicely. Or not Rangers. Engineers have overwhelmed pretty nicely. They're getting more members of the Warrior team now, but again, we saw this earlier. They were having issues stomping. Titan is down on the Engineers' control side, but again, we're not seeing enough AoE pushed out here to counter it.
There's a pretty good amount coming out.
Yeah.
They're definitely throwing the AoE down now. They've got so many down at this point. Ganma's down, and so is Dini Kong.
Yeah, Warrior team's or Engineer team's gonna retake the middle here.
So. I mean, that's the one thing Engineers are known for is the cleave damage on corpses, and once they just start doing that consistently, I don't think the Warriors are going to stand a chance.
So
I think Engineers can definitely bring this game back, no problem, once they just get their stuff together.
Seems Arabelle Jones and Tiny Kiyoshi are going to hold the midpoint here pretty steadily. We do have one Warrior moving over to, who is this? I can't see their names on the map. Looking at Miser Lord at the moment, is going into the henge. He's going to try to get up a nice little shield block there by Miru. Ooh, and a nice interrupt there. He interrupted the ultimate, or the kill shot there, which would have done a lot of damage if he had gotten that off. So, it seems Miser Lord is going to bail out a little bit here, possibly for reinforcements, or just back out entirely. Actually, he's going to move over to keep because the rest of his team's coming in here as well. We're seeing the Warriors move in now, possibly for a look at Betty White here, seeing if he's in the fight, seeing how he pulls off his combo, running H-Man's build. And unfortunately, it did not go so well. He's pretty much getting forced out of there.
Again, we're seeing some good corpse damage here.
The Engineers did get
Look
their
at those
stuff here,
Condis.
and they did have to pop one of their banners to get him back up. So nice job there by the Engineers adjusting that strategy. Warriors currently up, but only by about 30 points. They are starting to lose this lead. Going to take a look at Titan here in the bulk of the fight. He's looks like him and Miser Lord are definitely taking the most damage here for their team. So we're seeing how this goes. Actually, a pretty nice position there. Nice job, Betty White, going down in that spot. So she's going to be able to get up, or he's going to be able to get up in a pretty standard position, and the Warrior team will have no trouble resing him. Tiny Kuroshi did go down in the middle of this Warrior clump, so they're going to have a bit of trouble getting him up. But nonetheless, they do so. Popping, I believe he had used this Elixir R there, so that's getting thrown out. And two members of the Warrior team are down now. As we're looking at Tiny Kuroshi here, we're seeing these grenade numbers. If you guys are watching these numbers, it's just crazy the amount of, just look at the conditions on the Warrior team. It's amazing. The 15 stacks of bleeds on some of them, 25 stacks of vulnerability. Those Warriors are not going to be able to get themselves up, and 2 out of 3 of them will go down, and I believe one had popped their frenzy, or their vengeance rather, so they're going to get up, and unfortunately they will go down because they will not be able to kill any member of the Engineer team.
I'll be honest, this is kind of the way I expected the game to go from the beginning. I think they just had to get their stuff together, and it's coming pretty clear now that they're getting a little overwhelmed. I think the Warriors' strongest strategy in this game is going to be their team fight, but the Engineers just have such a stronger team fight that it's not really going to work out. None of these Warriors really have a strong 1v1 build for going off node. And as you can see, they're getting, well, they were triple cap there for a moment, and they're definitely starting to, the light is dimming.
We're seeing them now. Engineer team is over here. Engineer team over here is going for the boss on their side. They're gonna have no trouble killing that. Actually, possibly Warrior team might catch on to this. We're trying to see here if they're gonna. Nope, they got it down. And we're gonna have a little bit of a 2-on-2 skirmish going here at the henge. Let's take a look at what's going on there. Looking at Gamma, the longbow warrior. I actually haven't looked at him yet this game. I want to see how he manages to play this longbow. He's actually getting tossed around at the moment, as you see. Longbow is a very unresponsive weapon, in my opinion. So he's gonna swap off of that. But we are seeing more members of the Warrior team come in here. Engineer team currently only needs about 30 points to win, so the Warrior team really needs to buff up here if they want to take back this lead that they lost.
Mirror's actually doing pretty well on this off point here. It's fairly impressive. Does not get the ticks on the Elixir R, do not get up in time for him to get back up, unfortunately.
So looking at Puff the Coco at the moment on the Engineer team. Again, another grenade Engie. He just did have 10 stacks of vulnerability thrown on him by the Warrior team. And the Warrior team actually is going to force them off. Unfortunately, the Engineer team is, I believe, in my opinion, is a little too close to victory for Warriors.
Yeah, unless Titan can get the decap on Kuroshi in mid right now, this is pretty much done.
Go Titan. Let's go Warriors.
I don't know if Titan's going to be able to make this happen.
Let's go Titan. You can do it. We have reinforcements coming in from Miser. We also have one of the members of the Engineer team coming in here. The question is, Warriors also lost their mines, so unfortunately, and Blue team managed to cap that as well, so that's going to be GG. First round goes to the Engineers. Nicely done there by both teams.
Like I said, man, I wasn't worried at all the whole time. my engineers, they came through.
What are you doing, Warriors? What are you doing? Get it together.
Maybe you should jump in there and give them a little advice. I did hear you just picked up Warrior today, so...
I picked it up yesterday, so I am a certified one-day pro at Warrior.
Nice, nice.
I've always wanted to play Warrior. When the game initially came out, my initial intention was to play Warrior, but my mind shifted to Ranger and then Engineer, and then now I'm coming back to Warrior, where I truly belong. So we're gonna go update the bracket here real quick, just a second.